You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Fashion Star After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Fashion Star After Show.
Woo! Here we are. It's another week of Fashion Star. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen.
Here we are.
Welcome to the AFTERBUZZ Studios here in sunny Los Angeles, and for your weekly dose of NBC's new hit series, Fashion Star. Tonight's going to be an excellent show. We've got a lot of surprises for you both on the phone and on the couch. But before we get to that, a couple acknowledgements we'd like to make to our media partners, Akamai Technology and Bing.com. Bing is for everything you do. And for all of your AFTERBUZZ TV vices, please continue to log on to AFTERBUZZTV.com to watch your favorite shows, both past and present. As well, follow us on Twitter at AFTERBUZZ TV. And if that is not enough for you, log on to iTunes, where you can rate and comment. And believe me, we do read your comments. Viewers, you're so important to us. We thank you for everything you do. Keep it up. That being said, I am your host and menswear designer, Christopher Jozeph. Welcome. Always a nice cheap plug.
Nice plug.
You like that? Mm-hmm. Well, we've got an amazing audience in here tonight. I mean, amazing cast, excellent guests. We're going to go around for all of you new viewers and announce our panel. We have the lovely Diona Vaughan sitting across from me.
Diona Vaughan. You guys can tweet me at GoToGirlTV, or you can find me at
girl.
Yes, I am. And you can also find me at www.gotogirltv.com.
And
Stephanie.
Yeah, I'm Stephanie Wenger. You can find me at Stephanie Wenger on Twitter, keeping it simple, and www.
What are you trying to say?
I know, but I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, true. But and my website, www.stephaniewenger.com. So.
And you are the girl that loves to shop.
I am the girl that loves to shop.
Yes,
that's what we've identified me as.
And the lovely lady to my left is always popping with color week in and week out. Virginia.
Yep, I am Virginia Reyna, and I owe the jewel tones to Jenna Time.
Oh.
She's been in here many times, and she always says you look best in jewel tones, so it's a little shout out to Jenna. And I am Virginia Reyna, and I am our fashion PR person around here. We've been tweeting all of the different contestants all night, so hopefully we'll have some of them call in. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can find me at Virginia Reyna at Twitter, or you can just go to virginiareyna.com.
And now, the couch. A little surprise for all of you viewers. We are going to take your attention to the couch and going from left to right. We are starting with the beautiful Marcy Guevara. Hello, Marcy. How are you?
Hi, Marcy.
Happy to have you. Thank you.
And what is your Twitter so that people can follow you?
We're all about the Twitter.
Yeah.
We are. We're all about the social media here. Jump on the SM
we
train.
We can just tweet each other through the show.
It's not even like, here's why you should follow me. I'm super funny. Just the Marcy Minute. That's it. Hit it. All you need is a minute with Marcy. Your life will be changed.
Are we talking fashion?
You know, it's whatever you need.
Wow.
But Marcy,
Marcy with the Y or
Marcy with a Y.
And Marcy, tell our fans where else they can find you.
I am the host of Marie Claire's Big Girl in a Skinny World. So
Yes, you
we
are.
give. Yes, I am. Yes, you are, Big Girl.
The new face of Mary Claire. I love it.
New face of Marie Claire's Big Girl plus size advice. So, you know, fashion is for all women. We all deal with, clothes and men. But I'm in it for the big girl.
I'm loving you.
I like it.
Fantastic.
And to your right, we have a real special treat.
Hello.
Fashion stylist extraordinaire, Daniel Musto.
Yes, I started
How
Fashion
are
Star,
you?
so I'm happy to be here.
Be here. We are very happy to have you,
Happy to
especially
have you.
the fact that you are styling for none other than Fashion Star.
Fashion Star. I had a couple appearances today on the show. So
yes.
We had a lot of fun.
I think you might have. I think you might have.
He did.
Me and John Barbados had a tight little moment on his way out on stage.
Yeah, very cool.
Nice.
And how can people follow you? How can we follow you, be in touch with you?
Me at Daniel R. Musto.
Okay.
R is for Robert, my father. Or you can even go on danielmusto.com and ask me fashion advice.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I've been on the site. It's excellent. You're going to want to check it out. Look at the press. This man styles for some rather big names. You know, I'm just going to throw out a few.
Are you related to Michael Musto?
No, but he tweeted me
you get
recently that he's going to tell everyone that I'm his nephew. And I retweeted it.
All right. Yeah.
Well, and to your right, speaking of making appearances tonight, we have the beautiful and lovely, just so happens to be a model on Fashion Star.
Maybe just a little bit.
Talesha Byrd.
Yes.
Welcome to the AfterBuzz studio.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good.
Looking well dressed, I see.
You know, he taught me something.
Holding up. Yeah, you might. Yeah, you have a stylist right beside you.
I mean,
you're
me a little something.
You're in good company.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Marcy, you got Daniel, you got some things going.
I had to live up to all the stuff he taught me doing the show.
And how can people follow you?
At TaleshaB.com or TaleshaB.com.
Excellent.
My website, yeah.
Well, as I said, this is an amazing show. We're on episode 8. This one was appropriately titled, What's Your Campaign? We've been watching these contestants since week 1. Mm-hmm. We've been attempting to get to know them, which was a little difficult off the start.
Right.
We had a lot of contestants, 14. We're now down to but a handful.
I know. Yeah. Well, 5 after tonight.
5 after tonight.
We've seen them grow and flourish, and some we've seen go and we didn't care.
just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Well, before that, we opened up the show with someone who I hold very highly. I have a lot of respect for the man, John Barbados.
Yes, that was a treat.
That
was a treat. Is showing his spring 2012 collection. Mm-hmm. I love it. He's got that rock and roll. It's a little bit of kind of what I love. I love music, so I have a strong passion for what he's putting together and what we're creating. But the only thing I got to say is it looked like he had a couple bohemian outfits in there for the dudes, and I gotta say I'm like, okay, John, I like you, but that one threw me off.
All I have to say is the models. I couldn't even focus on the clothes. Those boys were so
sexy.
pretty.
A little bit of eye candy
very
for the
sexy.
ladies.
They were fantastic.
Well, Daniel, what did you think of the showing from John Barbados?
I absolutely loved it. I mean, we almost mimicked exactly what he did overseas in his show. So working with John, I mean, I shook his hand and I told him that my life is done right there.
he's
what
amazing.
else am I going to do? You know,
Yeah.
you wake up one day and you're working side by side with John Barbados, and the tailored, structured looks he has down. He has the bohemian thrown in there too. It might not be us, but it's somebody.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. It's somebody with a credit card.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
definitely
the
for
thing.
the confident guy.
Whether it's for you or not for you, that specific look, I look at it and I just go, damn, but you put it together so well.
No, I mean, it's so funny. You work with female models like Talesha, and they're always complaining about the shoes don't fit, this and that.
I mean,
I'll tell you.
Look at him giving you a bad rap already. We haven't
I'm
even
sitting right
started
here.
yet.
I'm sitting here.
Those boots may have fit 2 of the boys correctly, but they were all swimming in those shoes. Not a peep out of any of them because they knew that they looked the best they've ever looked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So and they were getting paid in on TV. That helps too, I'm sure.
And they were just as happy as I was to be.
Just say you're a part of a John Barbados campaign.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what I would do if I get the chance to meet him and shake his hand, but again, John, props.
He's a
very nice.
It was
a great way to start off the show.
I've learned a lot from him. So we've also got Cindy Levy, editor-in-chief of Glamour. So this was interesting, setting the pace. Mm-hmm. We saw something that we haven't seen yet, which were photo shoots from each of the contestants showing to introduce the line.
Right.
Let's start it off. Group 1. This was about telling a story. This was about your signature. It was about branding. When we look at that shoot, at that campaign, we want to know, that's Orly.
Right.
That's Luciana. That's Cara. And Group 1, we've got Cara Nismiro.
I think they just hit it on the head. They were both dead on. You could totally tell that was Cara.
Absolutely.
Kara hit it out of the park. I've continued to love her. She's edgy. She knows who she is as a designer, and she does it. She's fantastic.
Interestingly enough, this was the one contestant that starts off episode 1 with an accessory.
A tie. And we were all nervous. Yeah.
I'm going to look right over to the couch now at Daniel. I was on your website. I was on your website, and I saw a picture from the first episode with a model wearing the tie. Now, as the panel, we're watching this in the studio, and before we knew that it was just the accessory, we're going, man, these clothes are amazing.
Right.
And then we find out
it was just
it's not hers.
It was just the tie.
I'll tell you.
Were you part of that?
I styled all those looks, and I'll tell you, it was my shining moment on the show. Kara's lovely, and she's such an amazing designer. We've all learned that, but in the beginning, I was like, awesome. I have to work with a collar. I could do whatever I want with this. This can become my own. And I'm so flattered that so many people were so excited about the clothes and assumed that they were designed by her. But they weren't. But everything that I did for that runway presentation, I discussed with her and I consulted with her. So she had as much of a say in it as I did. So
it looked great. That's the thing. As much as it was a ballsy move, the look, we were all complimenting it, saying, wow, that's the best thing that we saw come out.
I used to be an accessories buyer for Bloomingdale's and many other places. So having sat in that chair and then seeing those looks come out, at first I was a little nervous, but to see the way it was styled, that's the way you should be styling an accessory.
You could imagine it in your store.
Exactly. You could totally imagine it. Yeah. So
now let me ask you, as a model, when they're saying, okay, this is the piece is the tie, or whatever they're having you model. What are you thinking? Like, really? I'm wearing a tie?
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't in that scene, but I loved the whole look. I agree with you guys. The clothes were amazing. Like, that sheer dress with the black pockets, I loved it. I mean, we all have our say-so, but at the end of the day, our job is to make it look amazing. Either way, whatever it is, to make it look great. So I just loved the whole thing. He did a great job.
Props to
really
Daniel.
What was your favorite piece that you wore?
I mean, unfortunately, I like wearing lingerie and bikinis. That was one of the best episodes when we did the lingerie scene and Ross did the lingerie and bikini.
Lingerie,
Oh, it's so sexy. You always feel good and sexy when you're in like
this,
I mean,
not very hard. I mean, you're not photogenic.
And there's not every.
I mean, it's nerve-wracking for my mom to see it, my family, but you feel sexy, So, and then Elle McPherson's first scene when the opening with the music, it was so hot.
I pretty much melted. Victoria's Secret, if you're watching.
I mean, hello,
Just saying.
We could have took the mask off.
Talesha Byrd, Victoria's Secret model.
So were we surprised at all to see that Kara got an $80,000 buy from Saks tonight? I thought
no,
absolutely not.
Well deserved.
I'm never surprised.
The
it was
lesbian
fantastic.
chic look.
I love her.
A huge fan of. I would wear lesbian chic every day. So I loved it. I was not surprised at all. I think it's 2013.
The way that she styled it, and she made it very simple, and the background was very clean. And I like how she had it with the tights and without. It was like it could be two different looks.
Yeah, fantastic.
Cool. Oh, that was you?
That was him.
I actually not only did I style that, but I was the stand-in for Sophia, the model.
Really?
So she had to hold my hand and I'd stand there. It'll be on my blog later. But there's photos of it all. It's just so fun. You're styling the shoot and the photographer's like, who's about Sophia's height? I'm like, oh. So, you get to stand in, and it was really fun. And then we did, the tights and then no tights. And then we switched it a few times. There were a few different variations. And then we did a men's Oxford shoe, but for a female, one was a lower heel to be the guy.
Now, did you also have a hand in the whole styling of the photo shoot itself?
Like
so
the
outside
background?
of the clothes, like the background, what she chose,
We had
how
a
it was shot.
conversation. I mean, it was very much their vision, but as an expert in my field, I would go in and consult with them weekly, and I would definitely have a few things to say and maybe sway their opinions a little bit, but they're very, they know what they're looking for, and they have so many voices in their ears, with Jessica, John, and Nicole, and Elle, and then you have all your other contestants that are on you at all times, giving you opinions. So when I come in, of course, they trust me.
It was fantastic.
That's good.
I mean, it looked like a major, high fashion photographer shot that. It looked great.
She did it well. Again, talking about branding, signature. She had her signature look in there, which has been the tie. I think I've only had one collection from her that I was like, which was the Fred Flintstone tie a couple episodes back.
I know, you did not like that, Chris.
I really was not all about it. But,
I know.
But hey, I mean, every dog has their day. In other words, you're going to stumble every now and then. But overall, I love Cara. I really, after tonight, I'm on the Cara train.
Yeah,
I think she's put it together. Hearts for her.
Yes, I give her
She
hearts.
sacks.
You know her brand.
You know her brand. You look at it,
Yes.
it's instantaneous. Job well done. And because of that, Saks offers her $80,000. So congratulations
well
to
done.
Cara.
We love you, Cara.
Yes,
We
love
you so
you.
much.
Ms. Miro.
love Cara. I love
Mimi.
Almost too much.
Ms. Miro.
Is Mimi. Okay.
I was nervous about him.
Now-
Ugh.
You know,
See,
I've been.
I wasn't. That sweater, I feel like, I don't know if it's because like I'm still around the fashion school environment, but guys at my school are wearing all those kinds of sweaters all the time.
But
I
to your
agree.
point, exactly, like, I felt like it was something we've seen before, and it wasn't that different. That was my only thing. So to your point, you're seeing guys wear it all the time, but how different is it?
But
that
it's
was my
very
concern.
him, and I think the way, maybe it was the way you styled it, but you made it look fabulous.
Well, thank you. I mean, Zamiro's very hands-on with what he wants. This jacket reminded me of him so much when I put it on. He's constantly in my head. But yeah, I think it looked great. And the thing with this competition that differentiates it from everything else is that you do kind of have to do what everyone's doing with a little touch of your own to constantly expand season to season, because you need to make sure you're selling. It's almost like the jumpsuit didn't really work in the beginning, but because people jumped into it. But if you ease into things like that, people start to catch on. And Nelly Furtado wears one, and they're all of them.
Yeah, really. Props to Nelly, Canadian girl. Love you, sweetie.
We love Nelly and her new single.
Yeah, it's really hot.
Well, here's the thing about Ms. Miro. Now, again, I'm just going back to what's your campaign. It's all about the signature. It's all about the branding. Now, I'm a little biased towards Ms. Miro because he's the only men's designer on the panel, so I'm kind of with you on there.
This week at least.
Yeah, this week at least.
It changes.
It changes.
I didn't feel that was his signature. I didn't know that by looking at that cardigan that
was him.
That's Ms. Miro.
I
agree.
I didn't get that.
I disagree too.
Yeah.
I could tell it too
I
all day.
love his. I love probably the last look, which was the gray cardigan. I was like, okay, I'd wear that. The first one, the second one, I loved the shoot. Loved the way it looked and came off.
And the vintage luggage and everything was so cool.
It was perfect. The color scheme, the look of it all, the way it was put together. I'm like, if I was flipping through a magazine or walking by a billboard and saw that, I'm like, okay, I want to go and check it out. But I feel like I might have been disappointed once I get to the store. Aside from that, not taking anything away. I like the gray piece that he did. But other than that, I've seen much better stuff coming from Ms. Miro. And like I said, I'm biased to him. I love the guy.
He's amazing.
But I guess
he really is. Call in Ms. Miro.
I mean,
but I feel like
he is
sometimes
cute.
when you see something on the runway from this far away and then you see it in person, it has a completely different impact.
This
And
is
I feel
true.
like that
True.
could be the
hanger
way with
appeal
this
and all
sweater,
that kind of
right?
stuff. Yeah.
I would love to
That's-
see men wearing. Oh, go ahead, Stephanie.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that I think that that's a huge issue on the show is that sometimes we see a look, and we've talked about it before, and you realize, though, when you see it on a hanger in Macy's, it's not going to look anything like it does on the beautiful models. Right there. Yeah. And so you kind of want, to make sure that I think your looks can be on those hangers. And so I think he did a really great job with that because I think it will look good on the hanger.
Well, he got a buy, so.
He got a buy and he deserved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He deserved it. He got 100K from Macy's.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just I want to see some really good.
I'm
We've
with you,
got 2
Chris.
more episodes to
I'm
go.
with you.
I want to see you blow me away. I
agree.
really do, because I know he's got it in him.
Yep.
We saw it earlier on in this show.
Yeah, he started out.
And I feel like all of a sudden it's kind of gone towards playing it safe. I know he's got it in him. And now I'm not in the contest. So I'm on the outside. I'm looking in. I know there's pressure. I get that. I know it's in him.
I feel like we haven't been wowed by him in a while.
I just feel like he's one of those classic designers.
Like and he is.
He's like one of those lifetime classic designers. You'll always find something, like you just have that gray thing, or everybody. He always has that one classic thing that you're going to somebody like.
Effortless. It's very effortless chic for men, which I don't think you find often. Like I feel like you either look overly styled or
absolutely
like if you're like a chic gay guy in West Hollywood, it's a great look. But for an average man to just throw on a sweater like that, look amazing.
We're keeping it cleaner, and I like that men's
it.
fashion has cleaned up a lot. The days of are gone.
Well, at a Macy's price point, it's very doable for the average guy.
Absolutely.
I think to get the average guy looking just like casual chic, which I think women, we can do that all the time, but I don't think men can.
Well, he's done it well. He's been in H&M the most.
Yes.
and then Macy's. So he's definitely found his market. He does have clear intention of who he's designing for.
And exactly, because he stood up for himself, because Nicole
He
was
did.
even doubting him, and he was like, no, this is what I'm going to do. And she was like, all right, prove it. And, he got a buy. So,
So
he definitely
props
knows his
to him.
brand.
Yes.
All right.
On to group dos.
Two.
We have Nikki and Luciana. Oh, God, Luciana, we are loving you.
Yeah.
Love you so much.
You've come so far.
She's so adorable. I just
Well,
want
they
to
didn't show
squeeze
her
her.
too much in the beginning either.
They didn't.
Yeah,
She
we
pulled
called that
my
out.
heartstrings when we were filming so much, and we became buddies. And I was like, only 2 seconds? All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to her by episode 3. And we've gotten to know her. And
I'm
everyone...
glad you're bringing this up because we do want to ask you a little bit more about it being on the show, because we've talked about in the beginning, we felt like there were so many contestants. They started glossing over Ronnie. We barely saw him 3 episodes
barely
in.
saw her.
Luciana was the same. They kind of grouped them together. What's going on? Like, I mean,
Is it the editing?
The editing.
Is it,
I
was
think
that
we
it?
need 3 hours. Is really
right?
You'd see a lot
Yes.
more of it.
I mean, yes, I could walk slower.
Yeah. Or almost like you need 2 hours. Take
Take your time when
Take
you're
my
walking,
time.
girl.
Do a
Take your
couple
time.
turns,
But
Yeah.
no,
I do walk
it's
back.
all editing. I mean, they were there as much as everybody else. It's
Sure.
just a matter of getting the stories across and getting to know people along the way. And of course,
Yeah.
editors knew who was going by before.
It's
everyone
also
else.
reality TV,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sometimes you're just not that interesting. You might be a great designer, but you don't make great TV.
Well, see, and that's why.
Ooh,
Well,
Marcy.
Oscar.
Ouch.
There's a great case in point. You want to talk
Yes.
about colorful?
Oh.
You know, I mean, he was on, he was off. He was. I feel like he was there for the color, and
Yeah,
that's
was
about
he there
it,
just
but-
as a joke? Because what was he all
I
about?
didn't say
I mean,
that.
We made
I-
jokes, but I don't know if that's why he was there.
I mean, because
Yeah.
He brought some flavor, and I
Yes.
don't know if that's the reason
Lots
why
of flavor.
he was brought
yeah,
on.
because
It's TV. It's reality.
it was
You can
hard to
speak
take him
reality,
seriously
Marcy. I mean,
in the competition. So
I think he had big dreams, and I think
Sure.
that the casting people probably wanted to make those possible, but it just didn't fit quite
Click.
right.
yeah.
Well, plus, I mean, any kind of fashion-related show, like, you can say, this is what I can design, this is what I can do, but you don't really know until
Until you
like,
get
you
there.
actually get there and see
Right.
what they can do.
Right.
That's the
And
beauty of
test.
seeing
Yeah.
it.
right.
Totally.
Awesome. Well, Nikki, she came out and she said that she was going to do more of a maxi dress, kind of
Ooh,
a
Nikki,
70s
that was not a
inspired.
maxi
That wasn't a
dress.
maxi
It
dress.
was like a midi dress. It was like to the knee.
It's also
Feeling
just what we've seen
the
before
worst.
with her. It's
Yeah,
so...
I mean, we can talk a little bit about her because this is kind of this really takes hold of the entire episode
Right.
in whole. Signature brand. We're talking advertising. I mean, everybody was right. The headshot.
Can
You really don't know
Says
anything
nothing
Can
about
you
it.
give
Well,
us any insight into how that happened?
She was very frustrated on set, and I mean, when you're thrown,
you could see it.
when you're thrown a task that's completely off from what you've been doing every week. They
Mm-hmm.
know it's straight to runway. They're trying to do that. To be told when you're on that path,
Mm-hmm.
to just be told now we're going to do still images, it
Yeah.
changes everything. People think it's so simple, but literally, a still shot of a garment is completely different than a moving shot. So poor thing was overwhelmed, and then went in, and she butt heads a little bit with the photographer and
pattern makers.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was kind of all across
Just-
the board, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, she has this vision, and she can't complete it herself because there's so much to be done, and she needs to
Right.
Yeah.
task these people into it. So you need to micromanage a little bit, and I mean, it's in every design studio. There's Nikki's all over
Sure.
the board. And we're all
got that
probably
right.
wearing something right now that was originally designed by somebody that micromanaged a bit, but
Yeah.
she's, I mean, with that Australian accent, you can't really get mad at her.
I know she's a cutie.
I can appreciate that she really sticks to her signature dress. I can appreciate that. Let's think of Diona von Furstenberg. She's famous for the wrap dress. At the same time, you have to learn how to branch out and have separates and still maintain your identity as a designer. And I think at this point, she hasn't pushed herself. We're seeing the same thing,
Just
same
different
dress.
That's just it.
It's
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 different. We're
pattern,
seeing the
pattern,
different
pattern,
iterations
same
of the
kind
same
of thing,
thing.
different strap placement.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
didn't push herself this week at all.
Unfortunately not. Therefore, no offer.
bye, Nikki, no bye.
Luciana, I'm just warming up to this girl more and more and more. She was glossed over in the first half of this show. We've had her call in. She's
Yeah.
been an absolute delight.
She's
Again, that
amazing.
little
Yeah.
accent, you just can't.
Yeah.
It's like,
Love her.
She's so
I
cute.
love you. I mean, an amazing story too. We're getting to know her a little bit more every show. She's talking about how she's done it herself. You know, she went out, she bought fabric,
Yeah, she
created a
brought her
couple
own fabric
dresses,
in.
sold into 100 stores.
That's fantastic.
I learned something.
As a
I
beginning
was there with
designer-
her, and I didn't even know that. I was
That's
like,
fantastic.
No, that was incredible
Yeah.
to hear. Tonight, I was blown away by that, and I appreciate and hold her just that much higher.
Right.
And again, now, I will say I wasn't that much a fan of the pink dress.
Yeah, the
However, I
prints
loved the photo shoot. I thought it was great. It would stop me dead in my tracks,
Yeah.
especially right now with those neutral colors and just the whole vibe of it all.
Yeah, it was a great representation of her brand, who she is. You know, we saw, what she stands for. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And she got to buy.
Little variety
Yeah.
in there with the first black dress,
Yeah.
and then hitting it up with the 2 pattern dresses after
Exactly.
that.
And her model Carla's awesome. I mean, she really embodied that like darkness of the forest that she wanted to bring, and it wasn't all fruity.
Darkness of the forest.
I love it. I'm gonna tell Carla that you said the darkness of the forest.
I know, Carla. I want to tell you something. You're actually the darkness of the forest.
But she's such a bright girl, so I'm gonna find
But
it
she
so
really,
funny to tell
she
her.
brought the claw out, and that's what a model does. You know,
Yeah.
you do all levels and.
Can I say that I didn't like those prints though?
We agree.
And maybe
Yeah.
as a big girl, I'm thinking like print, shine, floral. It was like way too much for
It
me.
looked like a satin silk.
So-
It was just I
I'm
looked.
not
So,
sure.
Marsh, how would you interpret that? Like, what would be your advice for
I mean, I don't-
for a larger girl to
I
wear a
don't
dress
know
like that?
I love the cutouts. I
Okay.
like accidentally breastfit. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of fat right in this little pocket. You know?
Well, that's what they say. Accentuate the smallest part
Accentuate
of
the
your body.
positive,
Right.
Yeah.
But I would definitely. One of my things is like just stay away from shine.
Okay.
So
But you would still
didn't-
do a print. You
I
would
didn't
still.
love- oh yeah.
Okay.
Go bold. I just didn't love the shine. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I don't know that a lot of skinny girls would look good in those dresses, but she got to buy. So maybe it's my taste.
They might not be shiny once they produce.
Well, this
them.
That's
Snicker-
true. They
You
do
know?
change it up.
This Snicker eating one over here, I think she'd look good in it.
Where are the other
I
Snickers?
think I saw 2 Snickers in her hand.
I know.
I think I ate a Kit Kat and 2 Snickers for sure. Definitely.
Nice. And I mean, speaking of models,
Yeah.
and we were talking about this photo shoot, this is when it's really important for you to embody what you're wearing
Right.
in the set and the environment that you're in. And
Right.
I mean, they design the clothing.
Yes,
now
but we
you've
have to
got
sell
give
it, yeah.
breath.
Yes.
You've got to give it life.
Yes.
So
You're the
again,
hanger.
kudos
Had to do it today,
to
huh?
that model.
You did do it. We worked with Jessica Simpson's collection
Yeah.
all day today.
We shot
Wow.
today.
Ah,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
All the way out in Costa Mesa.
Costa Mesa, an
Mesa.
hour from here.
Orange
Is that for her
County.
new like ad campaign?
Here's
or
a
what was that
juicy
for?
little-
Her website.
Website.
Oh, her
Oh, yeah?
website.
So much
Yeah.
brand new product, and all
Yes.
the product that you'll see from Jessica's runway show on the final episode will be available online. And
Right.
it's so cool.
fantastic.
So,
Yeah.
And her new website's all interactive with Fashion Star as well. There's so much behind the scenes footage, and
Yeah.
you'll
Nice.
catch all of us in there. So it's another really cool platform besides the Fashion Star website where you can check stuff out.
Are there shoes? Because I love her
I have my
shoes.
Jessica Simpson shoes
I
now.
love her
Yeah.
shoes. They're
I
so
love.
They're so comfortable. No matter how high
Yes,
they are,
I have
they're
so many of them.
comfortable.
I have some of the
It's really
ones from the
important.
show, actually. I
Just a
love.
little juicy tidbit for all you AfterBuzz viewers out there when we're talking about buying online. Remember that you can go to Amazon. Now, before you're going to shop online at Amazon, you first go to AfterBuzzTV.com and click the Amazon banner at the top, and then you shop. AfterBuzz gets a kickback. Yes, we get a little something off your purchase. No extra cost. It's a way to show your support to AfterBuzz so we can keep doing the after shows for you that you love to watch. So thank you. And go to AfterBuzzTV.com, click the Amazon banner, and shop.
Yeah.
Shop, shop, shop.
You buy
Shop,
your
shop,
Jessica
shop.
Simpson and all that
And-
stuff.
Who doesn't love shopping?
Everybody loves shopping.
Yeah.
And actually, here's something interesting. So I'm reading my GQ magazine. Love GQ. Costa
No.
Mesa was #1 for consumer buying, fashion buying
You're South Coast.
in the country.
Yeah.
Over
South
New
Coast
York
is
City.
huge.
And then it was Los Angeles. It went
Wow.
Costa Mesa
Wow.
Yes.
#1,
South Coast?
then New York City, and then Los Angeles.
It's a
So
fashion
So many
resort.
shows
Check it
in
out.
Costa
What was
Mesa
it?
and South Coast.
Costa
I do
Mesa.
so many shows down there.
They call it
Wow.
a fashion resort.
Yeah.
it's
not a
incredible.
mall.
So,
So much.
way to do it up, Cali, going
Yeah.
West Coast.
Wow. Is that Orange County, right?
Orange County represent.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they have the best
Amazing.
Nordstrom rack.
They do.
Hello, and the largest selection of plus sizes in Southern
See?
California.
Hey, girl.
Look at you
That
guys
rack.
plugging
You see
away.
that?
This is just in case you didn't know. This is the plug version
Right,
of
I know,
AfterBuzz. So
I just love me some Nordstrom rack. When I have a project
Just
with
say.
a budget, And I go buy Chanel half
I
off
have
at
to, I have to agree with you.
Yes.
I've nothing. Any purchase I've ever made at Nordstrom Rack, I've never returned it. It's fantastic.
Oh, I love.
And
I
you know
got
what?
these from Nordstrom's Rack.
Shoes. They have
Look at
amazing
that.
No lie.
shoes.
Really?
Yes.
Love it.
Well, here's what I predict for
Plug.
the next season of Fashion Star. We need Nordstrom's
Rack.
on the
Nordstrom
block.
Rack, do you want to sponsor us? Yes, thanks.
Nordstrom's, Vogue, Kari's watching you.
Yeah.
Hope you're watching me. Okay. Sorry. Anyway. So congratulations to Luciana. She got a buy from Saks, appropriately so. I think it'll look great on their racks. 50K. Way to go, girl.
Yep.
You're still one of our faves. Moving on to group 3, we have the final 3. We have Orly, Ross, and Ronnie. I am very upset with this group. I am very upset specifically with the buyers. I do not think that I think Orly got shafted.
Orly got robbed, and in fact, I think she's going to call in.
I know.
I think she's going
I
to
feel
call in.
now.
She better call.
I want to direct this to you guys. Now
Yes.
we're talking about the branding and the signature. I think she nailed her signature.
Oh, yeah.
If you've been watching the show, she's been about the zippers, the two furs, and whatnot. I really feel like she expanded on her signature this time. I think that item would have sold like crazy.
I know.
You
I
looked
thought it was
amazing.
I mean, come on.
Amazing.
I sold that dress.
Now
You
tell me,
sold it.
okay, what was the fabric that she was using?
I don't know what it is.
It was like a.
It looks a little shiny.
Yeah, it's like a
sateen or
yeah,
something.
kind of-
Cotton sateen.
yeah,
It was
like a
very
satin.
dense though. Like it was
It's
almost
heavy.
like a scuba.
It's
It had
heavy?
a little scuba
Yeah.
feel to it.
Okay.
Little
Like a
neoprene
scuba
like?
silk, should we say
Was it like a
Scuba
body
silk.
con kind of? Like it sucks you in a little bit? Ooh, I love that.
Because it didn't
I
look like
can
it had
say
stretch in it.
That no.
No.
It would hold tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would hold tight.
Yeah, it
I
pulls.
thought it looked great. I mean, I'm
It
really
feels good.
disappointed. I thought,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Saks, but that comment was
Yeah.
absolutely uncalled for. I get branding. My background is marketing and advertising. That's what I've been doing with my line. I've been building the story, building the buzz, and then you go sell. Now, she has her signature in it.
Yeah.
You look at it, you know it's Orly. That was not enough to take a sale away from her.
Yeah, I got the point that he was making about her signature. I understood.
Oh,
it,
I get
but,
that.
but I didn't think that was enough to
No.
not, buy.
They didn't even talk about her garment that she
No,
designed
it
and
wasn't
created.
talking
Nothing
about
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
Your
Them
signature
talking
is
like
off.
That's
I don't
true.
like it. You're done. I know I'm
Yeah.
going a little over the top. I'm just a little upset. Can
I
you
agree.
tell?
No,
Yeah.
I think we all agree.
I think it was one
So-
of the best looks of the night, and so to have that be the reason to
Yeah,
not buy is
I
kind of
didn't
sad.
like that. We're gonna gloss over one. We're gonna go to Ronnie,
Ronnie.
I love
Ronnie.
He was
Yeah.
so adorable.
my brother from another
you know,
mother.
That ad was fantastic.
The
Yeah.
ad was great.
Fantastic.
What can you say? I mean,
He
we
was
called
so
it
good.
Macy's.
I mean, it was between Orly and Ronnie. I had so much fun shooting both of them because we were
Yeah.
outside and we had Orly on the street, like with the
Hers
Polaroids,
was
and all the things
amazing.
would be like, just girl running around, caught on camera. And I was getting a tan, so it was also fun. And then we shot over to do
is sunny,
the model
California.
Ashley with the balloons. And
That
the
was
blonde
great.
hair
That was
and-
so great.
Were you responsible for the balloons?
I wasn't
like-
responsible. I think I held them for a moment. I think I was like in the.
Were you a
holding
stand-in
pattern.
again?
Yeah, it was.
Balloon holder.
Nicole made a great comment. She said it was great color blocking in a
Blocking,
different
yeah.
way, and it was fantastic. The red, the blue,
Yeah,
you had the
can
blonde
color
hair.
block with something
It
in
was
the
beautiful.
world around
Yeah, it was-
you.
It
and
was
still
great.
do it.
Yeah.
I loved the ad, but I was underwhelmed with
the dress?
Underwhelmed with the outfits.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I loved the ad though. I thought it was just adorable, which I think for the assignment she nailed it. But I thought those were a little matronly, those dresses.
I kind of agree with you. When it first came out, like it seemed like it was a little moderate looking, but then when you saw the back of it,
Right.
that's when it was like, okay, because
Right.
it had that low, deep
Yeah.
V in the back. But I agree with you. It looked a little moderate and kind of granny-ish from the front because it really didn't hug curves. It was just really straight, like a shift. So I get what you're saying. Yeah.
The one thing that I really like going throughout this contest now, contest, show, call it what you will, we have gotten to know each of the designers enough where we're literally calling who's going to buy.
Yeah.
It's like now
Yeah.
we know, now we can see their intended market, and the market's kind of dictated where some of these designers belong as well. Watching from the beginning to about midway, we're calling it Macy's,
Yeah, we
Saks,
are.
H&M. It's we
Yeah.
know who's going where.
Yeah, except Orly tonight. That really
Except
surprised
Orly.
me. That was
Yeah.
really big. That was a big surprise.
Okay.
I don't know if that was the biggest surprise. I think the biggest surprise was that they didn't save her at the end. I thought I was gonna freak out.
Wow.
Jessica
Yeah.
Simpson
Well,
trying to save
I
Ross.
think at this point in the comp,
We'll
let's
get to
talk
that
about-
when
yeah,
we
we'll
do
get to that,
bottom
yeah.
three.
I'm just
We'll
saying,
get to
yeah.
that.
I'm just
Agreed.
I'm just saying
Agreed.
it. I
They're ready. They're ready.
But congratulations,
I'm like, I'll
Ronnie.
find you, Jessica.
You did it again. You got to win. Macy's, or I'm sorry, H&M, 50,000. I think that dress will sell off the rack.
It'll sell.
They all do. Everything that's from the show sells.
No,
minutes. I never can catch one.
Well, they've said that it's sold out. This stuff's not sold out. If you go to H&M on Hollywood Boulevard, it's still.
Well, no, they sell out online.
Online.
And some sizes that aren't. For the, the advertising.
This is apparel marketing and advertising at its best. It doesn't get any better than this.
No,
it's instant gratification for the designers on a massive stage to viewers all over the country. You're going to go and you're going to buy.
It's great.
And it's not even for the sake of the designers designing it and you really like the piece, but you're buying a piece of the show and the experience and the feeling.
It's so interactive.
It's so interactive.
If you remember, like, old school, I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to go there.
Go back. Throw back.
When Jay's dress from Project Runway made it into Banana Republic, every girl wanted. That was the most exciting challenge at that time for that show. It seemed so far out that, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get to buy this. So for this show to do it for everything, it's just so genius. And it gives, we're in such a Twitter, Facebook interactive world that, of course, you want to go and buy.
And speaking of interactive, we have a phone call right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got a caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, my legends. It's Adrian once again.
Adrian. Long time no speak, brother.
How are we doing tonight?
We're doing great. How are you? How are you?
Doing great. I was surprised too about Orly there. It's almost like she got screwed big time.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a unique garment. The moto. I'm calling it moto dress for short, motorcycle dress.
I like the actual the graphic that she made for the ad campaign. I was like, because I'm a graphics person mostly, and
we know that about you.
That's a really good graphics they made. But when Zach said I couldn't read the signature, I was like, dude, you're old. Of course, probably you can't.
Our callers, they say it like it is.
Yeah.
We all have feelings. No, I couldn't agree with you more, Adrian. Like I said, we were a little disappointed that the signature was the one thing that blew it for Orly.
That's what we saw. I mean, I have to be like the reality TV producer girl here, but
please.
I mean, that's what we saw. That's the one thing that the editing that they chose to show you that like he camped on the signature.
Yeah.
We don't know that he might have
was said.
addressed other things. I think ultimately, I think it was good that she stood up for her vibe, and I felt the same way about the headshot girl. If that was the vibe she was trying to portray, then I think you have to be true to yourself. But always remember that more is said than what we see.
This is
Absolutely.
true.
Right.
Like Daniel said.
And also for Ross too. You know, sad to see him go, but he was going by the Texas style that he's usually used to, and you can only do so much with the Texas style.
They were hunting or they were riding tonight. We're not exactly sure. It was they were either in the forest shooting at pigeons or pheasants, or they were riding a horse. I'm not too sure.
Something like that.
Yeah, but well, thank you, Ronnie. As always, we love you calling in, and thanks for your extra.
Adrian.
Or I'm sorry, Adrian.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, but you know me.
It's all right.
You know
no
me.
worries.
We go way back.
We're just waiting until June till Raw. So I was like, I'm giving you all the love I can for now.
Well, again, we appreciate it, and I know that you have expertise within the creative realm, so thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks, Adrian.
Keep
You're
watching.
welcome. Have a
And we
good night.
appreciate all the
Bye-bye.
tweets.
Cheers, buddy.
So
Good segue into Ross.
Yes, perfect. Y'all know I have not been riding the Ross train the whole time, and I'm
I don't think we were ever on
that hunting jacket. What was that?
Watching that pass by.
I agreed with Caprice 100%. It was dated. It's just, again, he thinks that he knows a woman, and he thinks that he knows about style, and he's like, he's
But
a
I
vacuum.
think also Jessica took him in the wrong direction tonight.
Yeah.
Well, because I think
Sorry,
when you
Jessica.
put, like, no offense, but when you put two Texas people together, it's almost like, I mean, I'm from Texas. I'll go home. I'll get my cowboy boots and Daisy Dukes. Because I'm like, I'm in Texas. Why not? But I'm not going to wear that out here in LA.
It's a Who Shot JR reunion.
Exactly.
I mean,
But that makes sense though, because there is room for that style. I mean, there is a woman that's wearing that look.
But
Maybe not that Sgt. Pepper's jacket, but
you know what? But here's the thing.
Do you see that actually being saleable? I mean, there might be a place for it, but
Somewhere.
really, how many people and where? Sure, if you're in Texas or maybe more Midwest.
Okay, I felt that way about John Varvatos, though.
Really?
I loved it, but overall, I'm thinking, who is that buyer? And obviously, John Varvatos isn't like, you know, every man, but I feel like there's so many different customers.
Here's the thing with here's the thing with the designer. You're showing what's in your collection isn't necessarily everything that's in the store. What he showed, and when you go to his store, there's something for every guy in there. That collection is specific to an overall look.
Right.
And I learned that in designing my line. It was like I started, and I got a little confused in it. I was creating all these different designs, and some of them were a little bit more modern and unique, and all of a sudden I had to go, whoa, 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 whoa. How many people are actually going to buy this? I had to get clear and intention again and design for, you know, everyday guy as well.
It would be interesting to walk into Ross's store then. Not Ross,
but
Mr. Ross.
Mr. Ross.
But you know what? Here's something else that we need to keep in mind about this show. They know.
Let's clarify.
The designers know that they're designing for something that's going to be in the store for April, like right now. So I thought what he designed didn't make sense for that concept.
No, it did not.
He was designing a hunting jacket that was very fall. It was dated. So that's something we need to keep in mind. So, and I think when it comes to that, he was just off the mark completely.
And he's done that continuously, and as well as the fit of some of his stuff.
Well, he's
not great.
He boasted about the fact that his specialty is tailoring.
About the same thing.
And then from there, he had a bit of a snafu in the beginning with the tailoring. They actually, there was a comment made by the judges that they didn't feel it was intact. And then there was even a collection that he showed where the fabric was a little heavy. For spring. I don't recall exactly.
I feel like it's almost, you know, when you know the person that always has a list of things they want to talk about, and they try to find ways to fit them in. I feel like he almost had a list of things that he felt he was great at and was trying to fit them in throughout the season and didn't even think it doesn't work for spring. You know, he just knew that he wanted to fit that in and show it to the world. And it just didn't.
And I kind of feel like that's what he does with everything, though. He's kind of like, well, I want to do it, so I'm going to do it, and I don't care.
No, he doesn't budge.
I didn't feel that there was a whole lot of humble coming from him, especially when he would talk to JV. You're a guy listening to JV. Like,
he actually would listen to me a bit, and we, you know, I would definitely take his direction and put my twist on it to bring it to the best taste level that I could on the stage. But he'd listen a little bit. But I see on camera, I had no idea he was being this way with other people.
What about just the question that I've had going through this? I mean, oftentimes we're not able, because we're viewing it on TV, we're not sure of the fabric that is being used unless it's actually stated, which was one of the things I wish I wish I could have seen a little bit more backstage and getting into their heads as they're designing the pieces and the fabric and the feel and all that. Do you feel, what do you, as a stylist, and I'll direct this to everybody as well, trend. Do you feel that throughout this show, the designers have been keeping to trend?
I personally think that they've taken trends that have already occurred, because that's what customers are looking for, and they've been a bit innovative. I think there is innovation in there, because that's what you need to do. People always come to me and they're like, what trend are you following? And I'm like, what trend am I starting is really what the question you should be asking.
Right, true. We actually have another phone call.
Oh, right.
Yeah, or at least trying to call in.
Oh, maybe.
Get through, so maybe.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, it's Orly.
Yay! Orly!
Ever.
I'm telling you, girl, we have so much love for you right now. It's insane.
Love you so much, baby. Hi.
Do you recognize?
That makes me so happy.
We're kind of near your hometown right now, my little girl. We're not far from there.
Oh, where you guys are in LA or you're in New York?
Oh, we're in LA. But
we're in LA.
We ain't far from Calabasas.
But we ain't
Calabasas. I'll be there on Monday.
Nice.
Really?
Ooh,
yeah. I head back to work on the new line, so I'll be there on Monday.
We gotta get you in here, Orly.
We would love to have you in here next Tuesday if you're going to be here. If you can fit us in.
Oh
your busy schedule.
I'll be in town. I'd love to swing by.
Awesome.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
So much fun.
Dang it.
Well,
I know
you would have so much fun.
We may also have someone else from the show here to be confirmed. You'll have to stick on Twitter. Could be one of the buyers.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, talking about tonight, Orly, I loved the dress. I loved your campaign.
We loved it.
We were a little bit ticked off with the comment that was made. Now, of course, Marcy made a good comment earlier saying that as viewers, we're not always privy to more of the conversation that's happening due to editing and whatnot. But we thought your dress rocked. We thought the campaign rocked. If I would have seen that on a billboard somewhere, I would have been like, yep, that's Orly.
Yeah.
And I totally
I love that. Thank you so much. You know what? I really loved it too. And the thing that was so weird to me was the only real critique I got about the campaign was the bizarre conversation I had with Taryn, which it was so much weirder in real life. I don't even know how to explain it. First of all, it went on for a half an hour of him explaining to me, he started off saying I'm a huge fan of typography and scripture, and I remember being like, I'm not following the bouncing ball, what's happening here? And it was the weirdest conversation ever. And at the end of it, we just never really understood each other. He just basically couldn't read my signature.
Did you get
and I didn't
feedback
understand
from
why that
anybody
mattered.
else?
And that was where we left it.
Well, we could definitely tell by the look on your face, but
Orly, did you get feedback from anyone else? Because we only saw, his feedback to you. Was that it?
Yeah, no. I got feedback. I think I only got feedback from him and Nikki, I believe. Okay. And it was sort of just they just weren't blown away, was kind of what it came down to. There was no real negative critique. It was just kind of
no wow factor.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was kind of, I was a little confused because there was no negativity and there was no real explanation. It was just sort of we're just going to pass.
Well, I think a part of that is because, I don't know, when we were all watching it today, we're all rooting for you. We're your number one fan. So maybe it was just because we were dang it, Orly, you didn't wow us. I mean, it was awesome. I totally wanted to buy it, but I just feel we know you have so much potential. It's just kind of okay, I mean, that was great, but we just feel there's something inside there that you have to get out, and you just haven't given it to us yet.
I felt great in it.
You look amazing. Yeah. If you're watching right now,
I loved it, Orly.
We've got your model here, Talesha Byrd, who rocked out that neutral color. Now, let me ask you, what fabric was that you used?
That was actually a vintage 4-ply silk.
Oh wow!
I used a chiffon printed silk for the printed version, and then I used a Georgette for the purple. Okay. And then I used a 4-ply. It was a vintage 4-ply, so it had this kind of iridescent, grainy quality to it. It was actually pretty cool. I mean, you can't see it, but the entire inside was lined black. So when you caught the collar or you draped it open,
really,
the black contrast pops through. But we had her wear it closed. You never got to see that detail. Unfortunately,
that's interesting. I gotta say,
it's, you know what? It's so funny. Obviously, watching back and thinking certain pieces that I love. This is another piece that I've probably gotten the most intense response to on Twitter of people being upset that it wasn't purchased. Mm-hmm. So I'm thrilled with
Rightfully
that.
So.
It is. I do understand what you're saying about having the sensation or the hope that there's a chance for something bigger, something better. When is it going to come? What's going to happen? Because I can see it that way watching it, but being in it, it was very different.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Experiencing it, it was very different, and not having a moment to gather your thoughts and figure it out, and just sort of take a step back and look at what you've done and come back with some perspective was very difficult on the show. I mean, now obviously it all seems so simple, but I totally get what you guys are saying, actually.
Well, I got to say, I don't think I've ever seen a moto dress before.
Well, we loved it.
I mean, I really liked it. It was
fantastic.
I thought you were very innovative. This was an innovative piece, if there was one to call innovative through this show.
And it's definitely you. You are your brand, and that's what I love about you. It's I can feel every piece that you would wear. That blue dress that you tweeted today. Oh my God, you looked amazing. Sorry, I have a serious girl crush on her. She's definitely my girl crush.
The boots we put on her model on this episode were actually Orly's own personal.
Oh really?
Oh really?
That's great.
I went all over town looking for the right
boot.
We couldn't find it, and she's like, just put mine on her.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, yeah, thank you so much. I do feel like that started to become very clear to me as the longer that we got on the show, was that the one thing that people responded to most was sort of my personal style and how I connected my brand into my style. And that's actually what I'm really excited about coming out of the show, is going to be the potential to really build the brand specifically, because now I've been given the time and the reflection and the education, you know, even just from experience, just the education I've gained from experience a little bit to really do something great. So I posted like a YouTube video today about kind of we're only a few episodes out, and it's a bizarre feeling. There's you know, Ronnie and I were talking about this earlier about how there's a sensation of being a little nervous about, okay, all of a sudden now this weekly excitement is gone. This weekly surge of exposure and attention is gone, and that's no longer there. And then there's also the excitement of a few things in our contract are released, and we're able to go aggressively pursue certain things and move forward with certain things, and that's very exciting. I mean, that's really, really thrilling. And so
if the clothes are
weird.
there,
I'm
the attention
right in the
will
middle.
follow. You know, if the clothes are there and you continue doing what you're doing, the attention will follow. And, you know, both of you, I don't think have anything to be worried about.
No.
I don't think we'll be missing you.
Before we let you go, could you maybe tweet that YouTube video so we can actually check that out?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll tag you guys in it.
And you know what we can do? If you stay in touch, and I believe you've been in touch with Virginia via Twitter, let's set it up for you coming in, and we can even show the YouTube video next week as well to all the viewers while you're in studio.
Perfect.
Yay.
Great.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, let's next week. I would love to swing by.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome. We love you. Much love to you. Great job tonight, and we'll see you.
See you next week. Thanks, Orly.
Thank you. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Cheers, girl.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
She just has the best voice.
I love
Doesn't
her.
she?
I love her voice.
She does. I mean, she's just such a cutie. I've loved her right from the first twofer I saw. I'm like, if we could split you and clone you, the world would be a better place. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to a quick commercial, and when we come back, we've got a little bit of news and gossip, and then we're going to talk to our guests for a few minutes, wrap up with predictions into next week, and go from there.
All right.
That'll be a wrap.
Hi, I was once like you. Only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Love her, and I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Texas.
I will tell you what we're going to buzz about. We're going to buzz about some news and gossip. It's just one thing.
AfterBuzz TV News.
But oh, it's so important.
It's a big one.
We've been waiting for this. So Jessica Simpson finally gave birth to her daughter. Yay!
Congratulations.
It's like that.
So she named her daughter Maxwell Drew Johnson with her fiance Eric. So that's super exciting.
9 pounds, 16 ounces. Did I get that right?
9 pounds, 13 ounces.
Wow. Big, big.
Bringing it on back. Bringing it on back.
Yeah.
Almost 10 pounds there. And so excited. It's so great. I can't wait to see the first pictures.
I'm sure she is so relieved, because I know it felt like she was pregnant forever.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw her going through it in the show, and then all of a sudden to now just...
Maybe she'll have Ross design
I love the sound effects.
Some little tailored baby clothes.
Tailored baby clothes.
Oh, that'd be so cute.
That would
Well,
be cute. That little jacket on a...
He'll make her a little riding jacket. I mean, hunting jacket. I mean, forget it.
Maybe that will inspire a new Jessica Simpson line for babies.
I'm sure.
I'm
There you go.
sure it will.
Absolutely.
There you go. All right, well, let's go into a little discussion, briefly talk about what our guests have going on. So, Marcy, starting left to right, you're the new face for Mary Claire's Hello Style YouTube web series, Big Girl Skinny World.
That's right.
And it's been doing really well. I mean, you get over 7,000 views in its initial runs.
Wow.
I mean, this is great. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's really exciting, you know. So Hearst launched this channel called Hello Style. We've got shows from Cosmo, 17, Marie Claire, and so so I get to be the face for the big girls.
It's been incredible.
And it's really exciting, you know. I think that every girl can use some of the tips. And we've got lots of skinny girls commenting like, I'm not big, but I like your show. So that's really fun. And you know, we all have a friend that's curvy, that doesn't have that perfect size 2 or 10, whatever it is. So I just hope that, you know, everybody just continues to share it and spread the word, because we're getting so much positive feedback about like, thank you, because there is a place for curvy women in fashion.
Absolutely.
They've got a lot of money to spend.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's really wonderful. I mean, I'm wearing Adriana Papel today. It's an amazing brand. Most girls have probably never heard of.
Yeah.
But so I'm happy to expose it. And
the average American woman is a size 14.
She is.
Love the green on you.
And I was just going to say that's a great color.
Thank you. There's so many amazing brands. Adriana Papel, Donna Morgan, Ishakti, ModCloth. I mean, brands that people have probably never heard of because they've only ever heard of Lane Bryant. And love you, Lane Bryant, but there's so much out there. So I'm just happy to expose it, and people can check that out on YouTube/Hello Style channel.
Do you want to tell us, how did that come to be for you? How did this happen?
You know, just like any other girl, or most girls in America and in California, especially girls that want to be on television, you know, you sort of aspire to be a certain size, or be super funny, or be super smart. And about 2 years ago, someone reached out to me and said, we think you'd be great to do plus size fashion. And I really never thought of it for myself. I'd always, you know, sort of done I want to be an entertainment news reporter here in LA.
Good for
but
you.
I love talking about fashion. I love encouraging women to just feel amazing in the skin they're in. So whether you're, you know, a size 2 or a size 22, whether it's baby weight or the freshman 15, or just you're big boned and you never figured out how to dress well, I want to be that girl that shows you. So.
Well, I always say, you know, I mean, fashion's for everybody, and too much of the time people forget about the different bodies out there and whatnot. It's like, come on, guys.
Even like when when I lived overseas, I was about 40 pounds heavier, and I was going through my clothes over this weekend because I'm moving, and I was like, I have so many sweatshirts from there because that's all I wanted to wear. Like I didn't feel sexy at all.
And I always say that. It's like, I really believe that like just removing the hoodie from these girls. I mean, I'll see them like, I see you eating your Cheetos on the corner after school. Like, they're super cute clothes, and that you know, there didn't used to be. I used to shop at the same store my mom did in high school, and now there's so many more options, and even, you know, stores like Kmart, like Walmart, they're producing really trendy, cute, affordable if you're in
Forever
high school.
21.
Forever 21. I was just going to say that. They have such a cute
They have a
section.
great
You gotta
sign
cater
up
to
Forever
everybody.
21. So whatever your price range is, there's amazing, beautiful
H&M
clothes
has
for
a new
you.
one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only available online though, H&M.
Excellent. Well,
But
Marcy, it's an absolute pleasure having you here. What you're doing is great, and we can't wait to see more from you.
well, thank you. It's been a blast. I love this group.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And now we're moving over to one Daniel Musto. And I got to say, before I get into all your accolades, you made a quote on your site. And this is a segue from Marcy, and we're talking about everybody in confidence. He said, looking great can be satisfying, but feeling great forms a person's character.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't agree with you more.
So
I
profound.
mean, we all know that when you are well-dressed and put together, you exude a confidence, and within that confidence is your character. Now, you've done a lot. You've been regarded as one of Hollywood's leading wardrobe stylists, designers, and life coaches, which I found interesting, and I admire that greatly.
Thank you.
This world needs more positive.
It all starts with clothes, and then it ends up being this whole lifestyle. You know, you're brought into someone's life to dress them, and it just means so much more than they even realize when you're hired. And we end up, you know, choosing where they're going to eat, who they're friends with, where they're exercising, where they're vacationing, who they're eating with, what their babies' names are, what their babies are going to do, where they're going to go to school. It just becomes this whole life-encompassing experience.
Lifestyle, basically, right?
Yeah. Who have been some of your favorite people that you've dressed before?
Let's see.
Or infamous, maybe.
When I was an assistant, I flew to London for Spice Girls, and we did a music video and a commercial and performances and this whole thing. And I mean, to this day, they're all so lovely, and they stay in touch when they can, and they're all just so cool. And I can't believe that.
Pre-Victoria Beckham, huh?
That was for their comeback tour. We did it.
Okay.
Oh, really?
She was her, and then she did her whole stint on there. So that was really fun too, and it's led into so many other things. I mean, through Victoria, I had a little stint with Eva Longoria for an editorial with someone I worked with, and now I just signed on to style Eva's new NBC show, Ready for Love. So
wow,
nice. That'll be good. We start up in 2 weeks, so that's going to be a lot of fun. There's so much talent on there. It's the biggest budget NBC's ever had in reality. So
really?
Wow. Well, that should be fun.
It's going to be really, really good. So
and you're going to be really, really busy.
Really busy. I have that, and then Fashion Star Season 2, when that comes along, we'll be doing that.
Right.
And I'm also working with Jessica now on her website with all of her collection. We have the tween shoot coming up.
Excellent.
And then I'm on Fashion Police for Us Weekly, so you can see that every
Really?
You are working.
Wow, I gotta say that I didn't know that. I'm like, I did my homework and that wasn't on there.
And
not
going
cool.
back to Marcy and what she does, Cosmo Latina is releasing an English version of its editorial.
Really?
I wrote an entire article about curvy denim.
My wife is Latina.
I'm just happy to sit next to you. Oh my God.
It comes out very soon. I'm not sure the exact date, but within the next month, check out newsstands. And I believe it's going to be on newsstands for a few months because they'll do it biannually. So to see my little picture in there.
Fantastic.
My snarky little Carrie Bradshaw quotes.
Nice.
I stayed up late all night.
Garfield on the glass.
But no, it's really, really great, and it's really fun because so many Latina girls are English speaking, and they don't, they may not even know how to, read in Spanish, and now they are able to be who, with Latin background.
Right. That's great. Yeah.
Have Cosmo.
My wife's one of those. She's Latino with blonde hair, blue eyes. You would never know.
Cameron Diaz.
Show me a picture.
Yeah.
You never know. Yes. She's with the. She's actually a talent on World Wrestling. What's that? No, she's not. No, she's not. But she is one tough woman working for WWE.
Ooh.
Moving on. Well, Daniel, absolute pleasure having you here.
This one's prettier than I am. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Wrapping up with Talesha.
Yeah.
What you got going on? I mean, you're fabulous, and open up the dictionary. There you are.
Oh.
No, really. I mean, you've got it made. What's going on other than Fashion Star?
Well, right now I have out a music video with John Legend.
Nice.
And Ludacris.
And he just so happens to be doing duets, I hear. The new NBC.
Oh yeah, he did get signed on for that. I just heard about that. That's true. That video is out. Fashion Star every week.
Of course.
Jessica Simpson website. Adidas campaign that's with Big Sean.
Wow.
I did a hair ad recently for an organics hair ad, and then I'm in the works and conversations with maybe a show. So I'm not going to really talk about that too much, but you'll see it on my Twitter whenever it comes.
Well,
cross my fingers for that too.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
You deserve nothing more than that.
Thank you.
All the best to all of you. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
It's been a blast. This is what it's like here at AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah, it's so much
Your
fun.
family from the moment you walk in the door.
Yep.
Quickly wrapping up the show. Thank you everybody for watching. We know that in the bottom three we had Nikki, Ross, and Orly, and
Ross went home.
Hasta lasagna. Hasta
Bye,
lasagna.
Bye, boo.
Bye, boo. So going into next week, it's going to be interesting. Again, here at AfterBuzz, we plan to have some surprise callers, some surprise guests. You're not going to want to miss it. Looks like Orly, we're looking forward to seeing you. We have a potential buyer that might be on the show as well. We're going to
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I'm watching.
And it looks like three are gone.
People, half the group's going to get
next
eliminated
week.
next week.
It's episode 9.
Yeah.
2 more left to the finale on the 15th. It's getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Just quickly going around the room, starting with Diona. Who is your pick for the win?
Kara.
Orly.
I'm saying Orly.
Think we'll win. Kara would love to win Orly.
Yeah.
I know who won, so
You can't say anything.
You can't say
anything. You notice how I just almost.
No.
Almost.
No.
I'm really good at this.
That
phone.
close.
No.
I get
You're
it.
really good.
We know you've
But I
signed
mean,
contracts. We know.
Props to everybody who's on there right now. I mean, you guys are kicking ass and taking names. Applauds to you. We look forward to seeing you all next week.
Yep.
Until then, you can follow Diona on Twitter.
Echo2Girl TV.
Stephanie.
At Stephanie Wenger.
Virginia.
At Virginia Reyna.
Your host, Christopher Jozeph, at Vocari Fashion. Onto the couch.
Minute.
At the Marcy Minute, right?
Yes.
I'm going to follow you right now, Marcy.
R. Musto.
And you must follow him.
You must follow.
And at Talesha B.
From the beautiful people on the couch to the hosts on the show, thank you for watching episode 8 of Fashion Star via at AfterBuzz TV. It's been a long show. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos,
Stop it.
Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the host, necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.